Hey man, there is something about attraction that feels wrong the first time you actually see it. It feels like a trick. It feels manipulative. And yet it works every single time. Not because it's a game, not because it's dishonest, but because it lines up with how women actually experience desire in a way most men will never understand, because nobody ever sat them down and explained it. So here is the belief you were handed your whole life, and it is quietly costing you every single time you feel something real for a woman. The belief is this: if you like her, you show it. You lay your heart on the table. You are open, available, fully transparent. You prove to her that you are serious, that you have nothing to hide, that you would do anything for her. That sounds right. It sounds noble. It sounds like exactly what a good man is supposed to do. And it is the fastest way to make her pull away. Most men will never understand this, because it feels like the opposite of love, and that is the whole point. The thing that feels wrong is the thing that works. The thing that feels right is the thing that buries you. Let me show you why, because once you see the mechanism, you will never look at your own behavior the same way again. Here is what most men believe attraction is. They believe it is earned through proof. If I show her enough of myself, enough care, enough effort, enough honesty, eventually the scale tips and she falls for me. So they talk, they explain, they text back instantly, they answer every question about how they feel. They make themselves completely legible, completely predictable, completely safe. And on the surface, that is a reasonable theory. It is how you would sell a product. It is how you would win a job. It is how the world tells you trust is built. But attraction is not trust. It is not a transaction where more disclosure equals more interest. It is something older than that, and it runs on a different fuel entirely. That fuel is this: a woman does not fall for what she can fully understand. She falls for what she cannot quite finish figuring out. Not because she enjoys being confused in some cruel way, but because her interest is wired to the feeling of discovery, and discovery requires something left to find. When you lay everything on the table in the first week, you give her nothing to discover. You hand her the ending of the story on page 1. And then you wonder why she lost interest. But this is the part most men miss. She did not lose interest because you were too much. She lost interest because you were too finished. Now, before you push back, because I know you want to, let me tell you why men believe the myth so completely. Because it feels like integrity. It feels like the honorable thing. A man thinks, if I hold back, I am playing games. If I am not fully open, I am being dishonest. If I am hard to read, I am being fake. And here is where the mistake starts. You are confusing two completely different things. There is a difference between hiding who you are, which is manipulation, and not handing over every layer of yourself before she has earned it, which is self-respect. The man who plays games is pretending to be something he is not, to get something from her. The man who is genuinely hard to figure out is simply a man who has a full life, a full mind, and a full self that does not collapse into a woman the moment she shows interest. Those two men look similar from the outside, but they could not be more different underneath, and women can feel the difference. They may not be able to name it, but they feel it. One of them makes her suspicious, the other one makes her curious, and curiosity is where attraction actually begins. Let me take you inside what is actually happening in her mind, because this is the part that will change how you move. When a woman meets a man who is instantly, fully available, a man who answers everything, who has no edges, who is already hers before she has even decided she wants him, her nervous system does something specific. It stops. There is nothing left to pull her forward. She does not feel excitement. She feels a kind of certainty. And certainty, in the early stage, feels like settling. It feels like a book she has already read. But when she meets a man who is present but not consumed, a man who is warm, but who has a life that does not revolve around her, something else happens. She cannot fully map him. There is a gap between what she knows and what she does not know. And that gap is not a flaw. That gap is the thing that makes her lean in. She starts asking herself questions she cannot answer. What is he thinking right now? Why didn't he text back for a few hours? Does he actually like me, or is he just living his life? And those questions are not anxiety, not in the way men assume. Those questions are interest. They are the mind reaching for something it does not yet have. This is the part that feels wrong to you, because you have been taught that making a woman wonder is cruel. But here is the truth you have been missing. She wants to wonder. Wondering is the experience of wanting. A woman who is completely certain about you has stopped wanting you. She has simply assessed you, and the man she falls for is not the man she has fully assessed. He is the man still unfolding. Now let me get precise, because this is where the myth finally breaks for good. Most men think the opposite of too available is playing hard to get. They think the fix is to act distant, to wait 3 days, to pretend not to care. And that is exactly the wrong conclusion to draw from everything I just said. Because performed distance is still performance. She can smell it. A woman can tell the difference between a man who is genuinely absorbed in his own life and a man who is sitting there counting the hours before he can reply. The man who plays hard to get is still orbiting her. He is just orbiting her from further away, and she knows it. The whole game is transparent, and the only thing it communicates is that he is insecure enough to need a strategy. So if the answer is not transparency and the answer is not games, then what is it? It is this: be a man who actually has a life that matters to him, not a life he performs to impress her, a life he would be living whether or not she was watching. That is the source of every bit of mystery that actually works. Not withheld texts, not mixed signals, a real life with real edges, real priorities, real boundaries, and real things that matter more to you than being available at every moment. When a woman senses that, she does not feel played. She feels something far more powerful. She feels like she has found a man who is not desperate for her, and there is nothing more attractive than a man who does not need her, but chooses to want her anyway. Let me show you how this actually plays out, because the mechanism is subtle, and most men only ever see the surface. Imagine two men, both interested in the same woman. The first man texts her within seconds of every message. He is always free. He rearranges his plans for her. When she asks where he stands, he tells her everything, every feeling, every hope, every intention, all at once, because he thinks honesty means full disclosure. From the outside, he looks like the perfect partner. He looks like a man who is serious. And yet, somehow, her interest starts to fade. She gets slower to reply. She gets busy, and he cannot figure out why, because he did everything right. Now imagine the second man. He likes her too, but he has a business to run, friends he actually sees, a gym routine he does not skip. When she texts, he responds, but not instantly, because he is genuinely in the middle of something. When she asks how he feels, he is honest, but he does not dump his entire emotional life on the table in one sitting. He lets her learn him over time. He is warm, but he is not consumed. Here is what happens. The first man feels safe, and safe is nice, but nice does not make her chest tighten. The second man feels like an unfinished sentence, and her mind cannot stop trying to finish it. That is not a coincidence. It is not that the second man is meaner, it is that the second man has not erased himself, and the woman, without ever realizing it, is drawn to the man who still exists as his own person, because that is the only kind of man whose attention is actually worth having. This is where it gets uncomfortable, and I want you to sit with it instead of flinching away. A man who gives his full self away too early is not showing love. He is showing a lack of options, not romantic options, but a lack of internal ones. He is showing that he has nothing else pulling on his attention, and a woman reads that instantly, on a level beneath language. She reads it as, "This man's life is empty enough that I became the center of it before I even proved I should be there." That is a terrible position to hand a woman. It is a terrible position to hand anyone, because what it actually says is not, "I love you." It says, "I have so little going on that you are now my entire world after 2 weeks." And no woman, no matter how much she likes you, is flattered by becoming the whole of a man's life that fast. It feels like pressure. It feels like a weight. It feels like a responsibility she never asked for. The mystery that attracts her is not mystery for its own sake. It is the evidence of a life. It is the proof that you were somebody before she arrived, and you will still be somebody if she leaves. And that proof, more than any compliment, more than any grand gesture, is what makes a woman feel safe enough to actually fall. Because here is the paradox you need to sit with. A woman cannot relax into loving a man who has made her his only source of meaning. That is not security. That is a hostage situation wearing the costume of devotion. Now, I want to correct something you may have heard, because the internet has poisoned this idea. Somewhere along the way, men started being told that the answer to all of this is to be unavailable, or cold, or toxic. And that is not what this is. That is the same mistake in the other direction. Coldness is just the absence of warmth, and no woman is deeply attracted to a man who cannot be warm. She may chase him for a while, the way you chase a puzzle you cannot solve, but she will not stay for a man who cannot feel. The man she falls for is not cold. He is contained. He can be warm, engaged, even expressive, but his warmth has edges. It is offered, not leaked. It is a choice he makes, not a need that overflows onto her. That distinction, offered versus leaked, is the whole game. A man who leaks his emotions is a man whose feelings run him. A man who offers his emotions is a man who owns them, and a woman can feel, in the first week, which kind of man she is dealing with. She may not have words for it, but her body knows. The man who leaks makes her feel like she has to manage him. The man who offers makes her feel like she gets to know him. One is a burden, the other is a gift, and the difference, again, is not in how much he reveals, it is in whether he reveals from a place of fullness or from a place of emptiness. Let me take you one layer deeper, because this is where most men stop understanding and start just imitating. Why does uncertainty actually create attraction? What is the mechanism underneath the feeling? Because if you do not understand the mechanism, you will only ever copy the surface. And copying the surface is how you become the guy running games instead of the guy who genuinely has it. The mechanism is this. A woman's attraction is built on the space between knowing and not knowing. When that space is too small, when she knows everything about you immediately, there is nothing for her imagination to work on. And imagination is not a small thing in attraction. It is the engine. It is the thing that turns mild interest into wanting. Think about how you fall for a woman. It is never because you have every fact about her filed away. It is because there is something you cannot quite place. A question, a soft spot, a thing she does that you do not fully understand. That thing becomes an itch, and you keep going back to scratch it. Now reverse it. That is exactly what you become to her when you leave a little space. Not a void. A void is nothing, and nothing is boring, but a gap. A place where she can ask, what is really going on in there? And every time she asks that question, she invests a little more of her mind in finding out. And investment, real, ongoing investment, is what turns a passing interest into an attachment. A woman does not fall in love with a man she has completely solved. She falls in love with the process of solving him, and with the man she is still discovering at the end of it. So now you are probably asking the question every man asks at this point. If I cannot dump everything on her, and I cannot play games, then what do I actually do? How do I become this man without pretending to be someone I am not? And this is where it all gets practical, and where I need you to hear something hard. You do not become this man by learning tricks. You become this man by actually building the life the mystery is supposed to signal. That is the part the whole internet skips, because it is slow, and slow does not sell. But it is the only part that works. A man who tries to be mysterious with nothing behind it is just a man with nothing, pretending to be busy, but she will see through it in a week. But a man who actually builds something, a career, a craft, a body, a set of friendships, a relationship with himself, that man does not have to perform mystery. The mystery is just what remains when you are genuinely occupied with a life you love. So the first thing you do is not about her at all. It is this. Get your own life in order until it is genuinely full, not as a strategy to attract her, as a thing you do for yourself, because that is the only version of having a life that a woman can actually sense as real. And here is what shifts in you when you do that. and it matters more than any line you could memorize. When your life is genuinely full, you stop needing her to be everything. You stop checking your phone every 4 minutes. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop rearranging your entire week around a woman you met on Saturday, not because you are trying to seem busy, but because you are busy. And that single, unforced change does more for your attractiveness than 100 memorized texting rules ever will. The reason is simple, and it circles back to the very first thing I told you. She is not attracted to what you perform. She is attracted to what you are. And a man who is genuinely, quietly absorbed in his own purpose reads differently to her than a man who is faking absorption to look cool. She can tell. I cannot say this enough. Women are not reading your strategy. They are reading your state. They are reading whether you are relaxed in your own skin or performing for their approval. And there is no acting trick that survives that reading for more than a couple of weeks. Now, let me address the part that will actually sting, because I promised you truth, and this is where it lives. A lot of men reading this, maybe you, are not actually ready to hear it, because the reason you overinvest, overtext, overexplain, and lay your heart on the table immediately is not love. It is fear. It is the fear that if you do not lock her down right now, she will disappear. It is the fear that you are not enough on your own, so you have to prove it fast, with everything you have, before she has time to notice. And that fear is exactly what she is picking up on. Not consciously, but she feels it the way you feel a cold draft in a room, and it is the single most unattractive energy a man can carry, because it tells her one thing: this man does not believe he has value on his own. A woman cannot be attracted to a man who is secretly terrified of losing her. She might feel sorry for him, she might even like him, but attraction requires a man who, at his core, knows he will be fine either way. And that knowing, not arrogance, not coldness, is the foundation of everything I have been describing. So let me tie it back to the very beginning, because the loop matters. The thing that feels wrong is this: holding back a little, having your own life, not making her the center of your universe before she has earned it, not confessing every feeling the moment it rises, letting her wonder. It feels wrong because you were taught it is cold, or fake, or manipulative. But here is what is actually happening. When you do it from a place of genuine self-respect and a real life, you are not manipulating her. You are giving her the one thing no desperate man can give her, a man who is whole without her. And that wholeness, that quiet, unforced self-containment, is the single most attractive thing you can ever bring into a room. It works every time, not because it is a trick, but because it aligns with how women are actually wired to feel desire. She falls for the man who is not easy to figure out, not because he confuses her on purpose, but because he is deep enough and full enough that she could spend years knowing him and still find new rooms. Let me leave you with the part most men never get, the part that turns all of this from information into change. The man who lays his heart on the table immediately is not giving her his love. He is handing her his need and calling it love. And need, no matter how beautifully you dress it, is heavy. It asks something of her. It makes her responsible for your happiness before she has chosen to be. The man she falls for offers her something lighter and infinitely more valuable. He offers her his presence, his warmth, his time, freely, without strings, because he wants to, not because he needs her to make him okay. And that freedom is what lets her want him back. It is what lets her lean in without feeling the weight of your whole life on her shoulders. That is the real difference. Not how much you reveal, not how fast you reply, not whether you text good morning every day. The difference is whether you are a man standing on his own 2 feet, offering her a place beside him, or a man reaching up from the bottom, asking her to pull him out. So here is what I want you to take from this, and I want you to actually do it, not just nod and scroll away. Stop trying to prove you are worth loving by emptying yourself out at her feet. Start becoming a man who is worth loving by building a life so full that her attention is a gift you receive, not a lifeline you cling to. Be warm, be honest, be real. But do not be finished. Do not be solved. Do not be so afraid of losing her that you hand her the whole of yourself before she has even decided she wants it. And the next time you feel that urge, to over-explain, to text too fast, to confess everything, to prove yourself, pause. Ask yourself one question: am I doing this because I love her, or because I am afraid she will leave if I do not? If the answer is fear, do the harder thing. Hold the line. Go build your life. Let her wonder a little, because the man she will actually fall for is not the man who convinced her with effort. He is the man who was so solid, so whole, so completely his own, that she couldn't stop trying to figure him out, and she never quite finished, and she fell in love with the trying. That is not a trick. That is the truth, and now you know it. If this hit something real in you, if you recognized yourself in the man who overgives, then you are exactly the kind of man this channel is built for. Stay here, subscribe. There is a lot more where this came from, and it only gets deeper from here.